hello, and welcome back. So, let's begin. Sea urchin. Gulls caw loudly as the morning light pours over the harbor in the port district of Jorix. Massive merchant ships sway as the tide's currents move through the sea around. Not a cloud in the sky, but already the sailors are busy, hauling massive crates on or off ships. Shouts from captains and various first mates as several ready themselves for the next voyage, while others finding anchorage. A few streets over, in the area known as the Sandbar, streets that are filled with houses and small shops, and yes, a lot of sand from the sea and the surrounding beaches. People are milling about their days in a pretty packed portion of the city. Blackstone. Can you describe what you're doing in this moment after receiving a rare written message within the Orenthal of the words tide pool and sea urchin?
I think at this moment, I am trying to coax a bird into being friendly with me so that I can negotiate for one of its feathers.
Okay. Can you roll a persuasion roll?
That is a 16 on persuasion.
Wonderful. What does the bird look like, if you don't mind me asking?
Slightly gray feathers on the top of its head that kind of like ombre out to like white feathers. Its wings are black at the tips.
Mm.
And it is probably at this moment aggressively looking at this one piece of bread and trying to figure out how to get it without having to get close to me and failing miserably to do that.
I think in this moment you see it kind of doing a little bit of hopping and kind of cocking its head back and forth, almost like trying to solve a mathematical equation of how to approximate the angle and maybe grabbing it and darting off. But it seems calmed by your demeanor and your coaxing, and after a minute, it does very wearily, as not many passerbys, probably to its nest, have been quite as kind or as patient, jumps on into your hand and starts immediately pecking at the piece of bread.
Well, okay, so this part has gone well, but in exchange for the bread, I'm going to need one of your feathers. If you would be so kind.
I'm gonna need another persuasion roll. As it's kind of pecking away, chirping every now and then. Seems to be chirping towards, and you can see back in its nest there, it looks like it's likely its mate, with a couple of newborn chicks. Looks like 3 of them. That it seems to be in likely some kind of argument with its mate as that's happening. Oh, what did you roll?
A 15.
A 15. It looks hesitantly, and then it looks back at its mate, looks at the food, and after a minute, after a minute, does kind of go, kind of almost looks like it's preening and kind of cleaning itself, before plucking a small tuft of feather and dropping it in your hand.
So, just for everybody at home, Blackstone doesn't have the capability to talk to animals.
Nope.
He just talks to them, assuming that they understand, and for whatever reason, it works. You look nervous. Like, what happened over there? Because I keep seeing them looking back and forth at their mate.
Yep. It kind of just chirps at you for a couple more seconds, and then we'll take the opportunity to quickly grab what's remaining of the food from your hand,
Mm-hmm.
and then quickly dropping it off in the nest and then perching on the nest. You can see it gives like a small bow to you, but just seems wary, and you see that it's looking around at the people. People are in various moods.
Mm-hmm.
Some pleasant, some mostly not, because I mean it's busy. It's a work area too, lots of loud noises. But you do see like stuff getting thrown around a lot of the time. So probably this nest and likely these birds at one point were collateral in some of the shenanigans or just happenings within this district. So
Mm-hmm.
probably that's the weariness that's popping up, and not necessarily specifically to you, but more to everyone as a general being.
So I rolled a sleight of hand real quick
Okay.
for 29. I
Oh
want
boy.
to just put more I just want to use mage hand to put more bread in the nest for them because clearly they need it and it's becoming like stressful being like,
Yep.
I feel like if I were to put this together, it'd be like, well, you need to listen. You're the literal breadwinner, pun intended, for this nest, and I need you to go and be about your job. It's gonna. Do you see these people out here? What I see are that we have 3 kids we need to feed. I need you to go and get this bread.
They do not even notice that bread has suddenly, more of it has appeared in their nest. Because again, at this point, I think you see the chicks are kind of chomping away a little bit, like they're just able to start eating their own food and not have mom need to regurgitate, or dad. But you can see it looks like the parents are in deep discussion of some sort and just have not seemed to notice. Every now and then they kind of look around just to do the peripheral of like where is everything, what are the settings kind of thing. But largely,
I think very in line with how Blackstone is.
yeah.
Um, very in line with how Blackstone is. I would like to make a note of like looking at the harbor for scrap pieces of wood because in the middle of all this moving around and stuff, someone has broken a crate or something like
Oh
this.
yeah,
So
you can
I
find
want
that
to see
driftwood
if I can.
and pieces of wood everywhere. I'm not gonna make you look.
If
Very
you,
easy.
I want to take that driftwood and try to make them like a little, like some kind of like housing to be in
Sure.
to make them a little bit less nervous about being outside. And that's just going to be like their kind of like a background activity for them eventually to present these pelicans with like a little birdhouse for them
I love
to
it.
keep them safe from people.
Yeah, you are working on that. And it's during this time to this again, the sandbar is one of the side streets. It's actually smaller than a lot of the streets that run through Jorix. Because it was one of those streets that did not exist, but over time and through nature, and largely because this place does get flooded, the kind of nickname for this area too, beyond just sandbar, is tide pool. So that you're in the prime area, but it does and has in the history known to get flooded on occasion. So this was a street that kind of was manifested through necessity, not necessarily through avid planning in terms of the city's layout. They've built in storm drains and stuff to kind of help move the water through the area a bit better than the Strand, just because this area can't really afford to get flooded because it can cut off a large portion of the city to the docks. And it's at this moment you hear, kind of strangely, the sound of carriage wheels moving in your direction, because you're kind of sitting off the main thoroughfare. It's rare for a carriage to be making its way through this portion. This is kind of like that portion of the like New Orleans, like you walk this, you do not drive a car down
Okay,
this
so
kind of
I feel
portion.
like this is okay. So I think there's like a look of curiosity, but I
Hmm.
think also due to their time there is a clocking of this person is probably not from here. And
Mm,
this is also probably one of those like rich or affluent people who likes to announce that about themselves when they come into a place. And that is why they're here in the
yes.
sandbar on and not like on something that isn't a boat.
Yeah. And it's not moving like it's hauling ass or any way, shape, or form. It is moving with purpose, though. And as it drives past you, you're able to get a good look of it. It is a grand. Honestly, it looks like it's making a very tight squeeze down this street, as it's taking up over half of the street itself, which is already pretty small. You can see several guards are posted around the carriage, walking both with it, but also posted, obviously, driving the carriage. There are several what looks like small sigils along the carriage. The mark of a green triangle with 2 orange bands. You can also see this displayed on several small flags on the upper corners of the carriage. And they make their way about past you and about halfway down the street from you, pulling up to what looks like a series of townhouses that are right by like a bakery. And you see after a moment the guards kind of opening the door, and a small gentleman stepping out of the carriage and going inside with the guards. As you were working, this is all happening while you're working on your little tree house.
Well, I mean, I think it's one of those I started where I have to, the treehouse is in a backlog because the message is just like, I don't know what the urgency is. I've been looking for materials to do this so I can make a knot for it.
Well, this is all happening because the reason why I'm saying that they're not in the house long. They are not in the house long. Before, after a moment, the doors to the townhouse quickly fly open as 2 more guards, appearing to hold a young woman looking to be in her late teens, with short black curly hair and a purple dress. Her wide orange eyes quickly blinking back tears as she seems to be fighting against the guards as this is happening. And you can see the what looks to be the noble person is following after kind of lazily. And then it looks like likely the girl's parents are following after, kind of shouting, a bit surprised, a bit thrown off as to what is happening.
Can I hear them?
Yes, you can. Are you trying to be sneaky about hearing? Although they are saying it loud enough that there is a crowd, especially with the carriage being right here. Like, people are ogling, like, what's going on? Are you trying to be sneaky about it, or?
Like, it's one of those things like I'm trying to hear them, but yeah, I'd say I am trying not to be like, not to draw attention to the fact that I am listening, but also being like, now what is this?
Right. Okay. If you want to go ahead and roll stealth then to see.
That is a 27.
Okay. You blend in with the crowd. No one takes notice of you. I think you find a good enough, you're still able to be perched along the wall that kind of separates proper into the port, giving you a great angle, as you can hear crystal clear from the noble. Then, in lieu of that, I will take this girl with me. Are we agreed? And you can see at this moment, this noble is a finely dressed, portly halfling man, gesturing lazily in the direction of the young girl. He appears to be in his upper 60s, bald head, save for like a swoop of short blonde hair around like the crown. He has golden glasses perched upon the bridge of his nose, where underneath a curled mustache waits. He's wearing a green scarf tucked into a green vest and pure white sleeves. After a moment, the looks like probably the father of the girl speaks up, looking absolutely stunned. What? No, but we paid you the debt last week. And you can see the father is a brown-haired tiefling looking to be in his mid-40s with short brown and black hair, wearing a white button-down shirt and sleeves rolled up, slightly blackened with soot. One of the guards quickly pushes this man onto the ground, onto his back. A document is then unfurled by the noble. Do you remember signing this document? It says you'll pay back double the amount you borrowed. Shaking his head furiously and hands reaching out towards the document, the father says, "When I signed it, it said nothing of the sort. Wait!" And at that moment, several of the guards begin swarming him on the ground, kicking and hitting him. Meanwhile, the two guards and the noble, not listening nor caring, carry the girl towards the carriage. "Then my business here is done," before she is promptly thrown into the carriage and the door shut as it begins speeding off down the street, making a path as people quickly either dive out of the way or run out of the way of the cart. What do you do?
My question, I have two questions here, right? There is a question I have DM'd you. I would like you to look at that in Zoom chat.
Gotcha.
But the other thing is, can I
Yes.
properly see the girl?
Yes. You can see her as she's going into the carriage, and then she's kind of, the windows of the carriage are still kind of grand and the curtains have not been pulled back, and she is throwing herself against the window, trying to just smash herself through it.
Okay, so I think if I could use the things that I have, I think I'm going to use an ability here, but here's how I want to flavor it. It is an ability they don't know how to, that Blackstone doesn't know how to control yet. It just kind of, it's like, I really want a thing, and then shenanigans happen. Blackstone is going to try to is looking at her and wanting so very much to do something that will save her or keep her out of the hands of these people.
Yeah.
I would like to use the ability I have to try to teleport her somewhere.
Ooh, I love it. Okay, go ahead. If you would like to roll, because you can feel that the carriage has some kind of magical resistances on it. I'm not going to make you roll for it, but I can just say you can passively get this. As well as, yes, you likely, this is I would say probably a week or two after you've been instated into the Orenthal. You're still getting used to kind of the lingo. Sea urchin is nobility because they're a thorn in everyone's side, and if you step on it, it will hurt. And it can be a problem to tide pools in general and how healthy they are. So yes, this is precisely why you were summoned to this area, as whoever in the Orenthal had this information knew that this was about to go down. So yes, you were doing precisely what you were summoned for.
And it's one of those, my guess is during the orientation, they were just like, hey, you need to handle these nobles, but if you're going to try to do something a bit more
discreet,
decisive,
decisive and discreet. Yes.
You if you want to do something a little bit more decisive where the nobles are concerned, you can't do that in a public setting because we can't have that being visible. So you're going to have to settle for trying to help her instead.
Yeah.
Okay. So I am going to try to teleport her into the, I guess whatever the safest place I know would be is what I'm doing. I want to send her to the safest place that I know.
I love it. Okay. All right, let's do it. So
go
ahead and roll a wisdom, because this is you imparting your will to push this forward and push it past the carriage's barriers in order to connect with her.
Okay, you said wisdom?
Yes.
Can I make that an arcana?
Yes.
Okay.
I will allow that.
If I can make that an arcana, then that roll is a 26.
Wonderful. Okay. What does it look like as you were doing this? She is banging on the walls of the window at this point. You can see the noble every now and then. There's a guard also in the carriage that is trying to pull her to behave and sit nicely and go with them and not put up a fight. The guards are quickly moving forward. And you see at this point, probably she has locked eyes with just anybody, just asking, pleading for help.
there is a whole bunch of like stuff happening, but I think for Blackstone, the world slows down to like a quarter speed of
Mm-hmm.
everybody moving while they're processing all of the things, and there are like calculations happening. And I think he catches like they catch her eye. She just sees this masked figure
Mm-hmm.
with like cobalt blue eyes
Yeah.
looking at them. And there in between them is her panic versus a single affirming nod like this will be okay. And I think there's like the briefest moment where she just goes like she's about to say something
Yep.
before she disappears.
Oh my God, I love it. And I think you even hear from the carriage of, what the, where did she go? Stunned, silence that pops open as the carriage quickly pulls to a stop. And where have you popped her out towards?
The safest place I know. Like I think this is the I don't have control of this aspect. There are like a list of I think probably she has incidentally been taken to an Orenthal safe house because it's the safest place that Blackstone knows.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay.
So I'd say wherever the nearest one is.
Yeah, there's one not far. It's in the back of what was at one point going to be a lighthouse, and then they honestly just gave up halfway through building it because there were just so many issues. So it's just a place that looks largely built up, but it's pretty much a shack with no lighthouse, like proper light and tower. So yes, you can easily use that as a spot, and you can actually spot it from where you're standing because it's only like a block or two away. Okay. And I definitely think you hear through the Orenthal system some questions. For sure.
I think there's a lot of probably because it's masked by the sound of like birds because so many of them are at the harbor.
Yeah.
There is like a series of people like whistling and that's how they're communicating.
Yes, very much that. You get after a moment from a blue jay that lands on the perch not too far from you, that seems to be chirping every so often, perfectly timed with someone messaging you. Girl's name is Darcy. She's secure. She sends her thanks. We'll keep her for a couple days. We'll work on relocating family. Is going to be the next big thing that you do not need to worry about. The main thing that you needed to do was get her out of there. Wonderful.
I think at that point, Blackstone leans on a wall as inconspicuously as possible, partly just, I guess as close as they get to it, the adrenaline rushing out of their system after having done all of that, but also being like, oh, well, that was cool. How did I do that? Because they don't know how to control that ability yet.
I love that so much. And you do find out later, for sake of brevity, that the noble person did go ahead and forge the second half of that document. While they were not able to fully read, they knew some of the words. They never agreed to that second half of we will pay double what we originally took out from you. But that memory fades, and we're going to go to the whole group as we're going to check in on how everyone is doing in this moment. So, as we go to a bit of a mood shift. So, the three of you stare at the center of the chamber you're in. Bones and dead ghouls and a gas strewn about the place, as the skull Diodora was messing with clicks into place. What are each of you doing now, as we find ourselves back within the Museum of Bone?
I mean, I'm fiddling with the skulls.
Yeah.
Like looking down into the spiraling staircase that appeared in the floor.
Mm-hmm. Can definitely still feel that presence there. And a heaviness with it, too. I think each of you that have hair out or a hood or something like that can kind of feel like the wind as something is moving through the chamber below. And it's a cold wind.
Astani is just observing the changes that are like happening once the skull is being like fiddled with, like what presence, things like that. And did you say the staircase?
Yes.
Is
opened up in the center
there.
of the room, and it spirals down into, for what you can tell right now, into a darkened abyss.
They have a hand on their mace, and they're just looking back at everyone. And down we go.
Down we go.
Great. I thought you were going to say no. All right.
Oh, I mean, you don't have to.
Well, it's like as if they're walking, and just maybe a little echo of like, "Help! I'm already walking."
I'm already walking. I'm already walking. That's what you hear kind of as you're descending. Wonderful. Okay. Can I get I know, Astani, you mentioned you're going first. Who is next in the order?
Astani, are you going first?
Yeah, I will
Okay.
go down first.
Okay. I'm sending you with a little firefly for company because I still have dancing lights up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They'll put it into their hair.
I think I'll let Rory go next, just because rogue stuff can move a little quicker than either of us. So even if he needs to get ahead of Astani for whatever reason, he can do that. Whereas I would just be in the way.
Love it.
And I'll take up the rear.
You descend this spiral staircase probably for the next 10 minutes. And accompanying with you, you do see the presence of bone, obviously. That same motif of skull and what looks like bones stacked on top of each other as you go. Can each of you please make a spirit savings throw, except Eudora, can you make a shift will you savings throw?
The 3 + 4 for a 7.
Okay.
My thing is a +4, right?
Yes. Yes.
I can't see
Oh,
my
you
notes
said-
right now.
You said we're making a spirit saving throw?
Yes.
I'm making a shift weave throw.
Yeah, and
I
Eudora's
got
shift weave.
Got an 18.
Okay.
Got a dirty 20.
Nice. Okay. Level 1 of the catacombs. The silence was present, of course, along with the darkness. Upon your descent into the second layer, the atmosphere shifts slightly, as each of you feel some sort of oppressive presence that feels intrusive in this small space. But along with that, it feels, specifically to you, Astani, hungry. And as you're walking, taking up the lead of the group, every now and then you catch your hand that's holding the mace shaking slightly. You can feel, almost as if seeing it yourself, the walls of the catacomb glowing ever so slightly with this necrotic energy, as the walls of the very catacombs you are now finding yourselves in. You're getting nearer the pit of the stomach, where this hunger, this thirst, and it is draining everything. And I think at this moment, can you go ahead and roll a history or a nature check for me, please?
That is an 18 + 3 for 21.
You remember a few days ago at this point in the meeting that you had with Commander Tyneal, and you've seen it for yourselves as well. The farming district had reported that the dirt, the soil, was dried and strained of nutrients. This is likely why. Seeping through was much of Jorix is covered in cobblestone, making it a little bit harder for that energy to permeate through. So, it goes to the next easiest source of food: the fields. This is what has turned the soil, always enriched, especially in harvest time, into nothing but dust and sand. And you feel that, because you can feel it starting to not necessarily latch onto you, but it's definitely getting a taste into your magic, into you. The rest of you feel this as well, but not as drastically. You've been in similar situations to this before. The Unitel was something similar. Granted, it wasn't eating magic and life force as much as the catacombs are. But you feel this. And as you land at the bottom of the spiral staircase, each shadow around you feels darker, almost impossibly so, like it disappears into another corridor. Additionally, compared to level 1, the presence of full skeletons are seen throughout that almost look like they were fused into wherever they were last left. Bodies trailing in various positions of standing, laying, or sprawled into the wall. Some even looked like they were quickly getting up and running when they were caught. Between the skulls and stacked bones, the smell here is something ancient, perhaps aged rot that seems to shift and move, almost like its cause is near but just out of reach. There's also the hint of some kind of incense. As you now find your way, welcome to level 2 of the catacombs. You can see the very dim light. It's mainly a lot darker in this. You can also, each of you, see a little bit of your breath every so often as you breathe. The hallways expand in 4 different directions. Straight ahead, immediately to your left, immediately to your right, and one at your 2 o'clock.
Okay, well, first things first, most important question. It's colder down here. I imagine, this isn't really a question, this is me. This is more of a statement. I feel like the second there's like a little chill, Astani pulls out like this mink fur lined cape. Like,
So the robe that they were wearing before, it's as if like they kind of unfurl it, and like, you know, if you've ever seen the reel where they're like, the fur belongs in the inside, that's how you stay warm. No, they like kind of unfurl it out in this like white, like little small layer of like kind of comes out. They're just tucking it close, and in their bag they'll wake up Sakali to come walk beside them, so they can take out some gloves, and they start like buttoning it up as you're coming down the stairs. Just frightening. It's terrifyingly cold. They'll share what they have seen, and a little note about the farming district to everyone as they come down. But they're also taking out a quick note to report back to Keeper Reina about this. And then just when they breathe out, is it cold enough to be a little bit of air? Like
Yeah.
What's it called? Yeah. Well,
earmuffs on. Astani.
1 second.
It's definitely a very cold, I would say, autumn day for Jorix, if similar. Like, it feels like almost snow or frost is going to be happening. Probably on the air.
I feel like Theodora is like a dad and just runs hot for no reason. She's like, oh, it feels kind of nice down here.
So, for me, right?
Mhm.
Question.
Yes.
Do I get a sense of whether or not this is natural cold or magical?
Why don't you do... I'm gonna say... You can do an Arcana check.
While they're doing that, can I just, because we have these paths, can I look to see if there's another, like, Orenthal symbol down here that we can follow?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm gonna use Sparky.
Love it.
There is a 17 on Arcana.
17. Okay. You can tell that this is not magical as in, like, spells, but likely magical in the same sense of the whole one of the main reasons why you're down here in the first place, a Bone Weaver's thread. This is something innate, likely to the creatures or spirits that live in this area. So this has not magically been like, let us have this be super cold so Astani has to get special gear out. But more natural.
But like kind of like one of those, is this environment here on purpose? Because it's either for me, like, right, as in character, like, change in temperature. This either means we're getting closer to an underground source of water, or there is some other shenanigan happening that has made it colder here than it probably should be.
Gotcha. Yep, it's more so the leaning into creatures' abilities that are likely, which is kind of giving you a hint of what might be on this floor, as well as the thing that Astani and you have kind of picked up already, but Astani would confirm that the catacombs are eating energy. So any warmth, gone. There's no... on level 1, you had every now and then there was a torch that was lit dimly. Here, there's nothing.
Okay, so
even your dancing light is fighting because you can see it's flickering because it's already being absorbed by the catacomb. So it's flickering with that light.
Interesting. Well, I would like to see if well, first of all, if we speak out loud, does it echo? Okay.
And to answer Deodora real quick, you see on the hall...
Do you not want my roll?
Oh, I thought you told me you got a... What was it, 17?
I didn't say that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You made that up. You made that up in your...
Oh no, I definitely said I got a 17.
Okay, that's where the 17 was.
That was not.
I apologize.
Yeah, I got... So you did use an inspiration die. I got, if it's an investigation check, right?
Yes.
So I got 24.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And again, sorry, 17 was thrown in my head, and I thought that was brain was not connecting it. So with that roll, you see along the upper corners, kind of similar, where actually there is a torch there, but it is unlit. The hallway at your 2 o'clock. You can see the symbol of the Orenthal there, but interestingly enough, it is scratched off. And instead, you see what looks like a lily is in its place.
That's not familiar, right? Like
not to you, no. Not to you, no.
Okay. And I don't see the Orenthal symbol anywhere else. Well, it looks like the Orenthal's used... are we talking in our... Okay, because Rory had asked if it's echoing. So are we now speaking telepathically? Was that why you asked, or...
Oh no, I just wanted to know for the purposes of us talking, because it's like later it'll be like, hey, our voices carry if we're trying to be stealthy about things.
Okay. I think Deodora... I mean, the second the echoes start, Deodora's like overstimulated, so she's trying to be as quiet as possible, because she just has very sensitive hearing. She goes, I think it looks like the Orenthals used to use this path, but the marking is scratched out. There's a lily there now. Do either of you know what that means?
A lily, you say?
Uh-huh.
Oh, well, does it look like this? And I use a minor illusion spell, which I imagine is going to run into also some conflict here. But it looks like a lily. Um, but also, like, around the lily is the shape of a crescent moon.
Yep. It is flickering.
And is that the symbol that I see?
Minus the crescent moon, but yes.
There's no moon.
Let me see something. And I take the image, the minor illusion image. Can you tell me where you saw it?
Right there, by the torch.
I walk over to where the torch is, and I just modify the the image until like the lilies are the same size. To see if like the lily I have in like mine from memory is the same shape as the one on this wall.
Yeah.
Well, we are about to have a very interesting time. This is a faction of people who have had a, let's say, contentious relationship with the Orenthal.
Contentious in what way?
I don't know if my memories have the full history of these things, but there were people who lived here, and I suppose they still do, called the Death Blossoms. They have a subterranean city in this area, and I think at some point the Orenthal looked for passage through this area. The Death Blooms do not necessarily take kindly to strangers.
Okay. So the Orenthal took this path and then the Death Blossoms took it back. Is that what I'm to gather from the symbol being scratched out?
I'm assuming the Orenthal used it to make a note of places that they may have had passage through, and the Death Blossoms have made it clear that maybe they are not as welcoming as the Orenthal would like. Thankfully, my memories don't have any notes of the Orenthal coming to fight or contend with them about what they decided to do with their place of residence.
Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Let us hope that it didn't. Or, rather than running into people who are merely hostile, we'll run into people who are murderous.
Or maybe we just run into people who want to be left alone. I have no reason to bother them. I just want passage. From what I can see, this is the safe passage we need to go down. I don't see any other symbols.
You're probably correct. Also, it might be worth noting that whatever place we're in seems to consume energy in general. So, I suppose the sooner we move through here, the better. But, as I understand, all of you do not necessarily see in the dark particularly well.
I see in the dark just fine.
Which one of you was it that doesn't see in the dark especially well? Was that Astani?
Yes.
We
will have to be her eyes.
I'm sorry, where are you talking from? Oh, there you are. All
right. Well, you know what? Maz, take a point. That was
I think, like, first of all, it's so funny because Astani is in front of us. So I think that maybe like one of us is like to prevent her from continuing to move, just like kind of gently holding onto her tail, like don't. But what I was gonna say is, whatever else is down here might also be terrorizing them. Perhaps we could have some unexpected allies if they are being bothered.
Perhaps. Um. All right. So, in that case, let us aim ourselves in that direction carefully.
I agree. Maybe one of us should go ahead before Astani.
I'll lead the way in that case.
Okay. I like take Astani's hand
I would
and
like
guide
to
her
use.
towards the path.
I would.
Osani's just thinking, oh, Theodora just wants to hold hands. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Hold on for a moment.
Give me
Let
it,
me
please.
do this real
I
quick.
need it.
And Deodora's like, doot, 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 doot. Just like, just so oblivious.
I love being gay. That's all I'm gonna say. I love it so
Same.
much. Amazing.
And so I walk myself down the hall as stealthily as possible, and then I go, I was hoping to save this for a special occasion, but now might be that time. There is a skill that I have learned from the druids of my time that make it easier for us to pass by things quietly. Do you think that might be useful here?
Yeah, you're the only one who can stealth by things quietly. And like, I feel like in that moment, like we both shift and like my armor rattles loudly, like Astani's hooves clip clop and like her bells jingle jangle.
She might be giving a little bit more like step too. She's holding hands with Theodora. Maybe I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know.
still a +2 in stealth, so there's some.
Yeah, I mean, I have a +2 in stealth, but I also have disadvantage, so like not helpful. Like, you know.
So before we go, and you see Rory kneel down to the ground and place their hand on the floor, and like area of ethereal looking moss and grass spawns for a brief moment before it dissipates. It leaves a little bit of moss on your shoe.
Cute.
Oh, I love that so much.
Can you, Sin, can you also roll a spirit roll with that? Because you're noticing that you're having to...
Make a little bit more effort here.
Yeah, it's not costing you spirit points, but it is, you're having to like testing, does this work? And you can see it flickering kind of thing.
No, like it's one of, so based on the roll that I just made, which was a really, really good roll, our favorite one.
Good. We love that.
Nat 2. Just kidding.
I do okay, now if everybody just kind of hears the echoes of these calculations, being like, now if I calculate for the amount of energy disturbance that I got from a simple cantrip spell, and I extrapolate that to about a spell of this level of the weave, and then like there is like all of this to just go, I think I have it. It manifests like the seed of an oak tree.
I love it.
Before they place that on the ground.
Love it. Okay. Incredible. Yeah. You all have that added ability.
To explain what I did.
Pass without trace.
Yeah.
Plus 10 to stealth checks. Yeah.
I love it.
I sure did.
I know.
It's one of my
spell,
favorite.
one of the best spells in the game. I got that shit memorized.
That is one of my go-to spells as a ranger for sure. So yes. I love it. I love it so much. So yes, you can.
Apparently, in addition to that ethereal area of moss, all of you are veiled in shadows.
Yeah, can I add into that? I think as you're casting this spell and the moss, like I think the moss like latches onto our feet, but also a little bit of like shiftweave shadows kind of like surround us to protect us so we can blend in.
Maz.
Okay.
Can you roll a D100 for me, please?
Who's Maz?
No idea.
Who is that?
Have we
You mean
met them?
Astani?
Really cool
D100?
person. Yeah, D100.
You mean Astani?
No.
You have to
There's
get the
no-
big bag.
Nope.
There's nobody named Mott's in this party.
Well, I am addressing someone not in this party. I am addressing
Weird.
an absolute angel of death right now.
I love this.
Angel of life. Because they're giving me life, bitch.
Yup.
52.
52. Thank you. All right. You all progress through this hallway. Quietly, some of you, probably a little bit less, but still under that cloak of the moss and the shift weave. And as you're walking, after a few minutes, you notice that there's another branch of hallways coming up, but interestingly enough, these look largely caved in. They look like almost instead like mini or a little bit larger alcoves that you could possibly maybe hide in or otherwise. And the reason why I bring this up is because you start hearing a sound, as well as that stench of incense and rot starting to get a bit more present. And I need everyone to roll a perception check for me, please.
And you said we see like kind of alcoves that we can hide in.
Mm-hmm.
I have a thing I would like to ask for flavoring on that,
Sure.
if I may.
I love it. Yes, I'm here for it.
Okay, that is a 26 on perception for me.
Okay.
24.
24.
That is a 26 as well as perception.
Hell yeah.
Stani is riding that high of holding a hand right now. It's just, I see everything. I
see all. I will protect them.
I especially see this hand that I'm holding. Ah.
Wonderful. All right. And what is the bit of flavor you would like to do as well with that? Rory?
While we are, because the shadows are like working to like veil us from being seen.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to flavor this as the occasional whisper of warning that something that might see us that is dangerous is about.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wonderful.
Like the shift weave shadows are telling us, like, bitch, hide.
Like this, like, because there's self-related things being like, oh no, if you're hiding, this is the moment that you have to do it. Like that kind of thing. I think that's something that you would be able to actually like hear and interpret properly. And it's something I haven't learned to interpret properly yet, but it just feels uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like that sinking feeling in your gut, like that hair raising on the back of your head, and you know something's about to go wrong.
Each of you clock this. Coming slowly down the hall, not making a sound at all. A shape that loosely resembles black flame. But it feels more like an after effect, like what the sun imprints on the eyes when looked at it directly. Though ominous, it seems to be giving this, again, similar necrotic energy as it's slowly moving through the shadows and it's approaching you all. You do have an opportunity if you want to dart off to the left or right where there are kind of this larger kind of alcoves. Doesn't seem to notice you just yet. But I will say, based upon your perceptions as well as your passive perception, likely the smell of the incense and rot is permeating from whatever this creature is likely the warning sign for it that is also assisting the shift weave. It's not massive. It's about the size of probably a baseball. But
So this is the smell that you just described is equivalent to me of a college guy who didn't shower but just like
Axe bomb
like
themselves.
axe bomb himself,
Yes.
has a shower 3 days, thinks that he's coming to smell. It's absolutely not covered.
I would say
It's just
probably
worse.
2 weeks
Like a
versus
visceral
3 days. Yeah, 2 weeks versus 3
Okay,
days. But
disgusting. I'm gonna I will push Astani into an alcove and hide there too, like stealth in there.
I love it. Okay. If you all wouldn't mind rolling stealth, and yes, obviously you have
Yeah.
that +10.
It don't matter when you got disadvantage. Just saying. I got a 15.
15. Okay.
10 of that. Guess what I rolled?
Oh, is that plus your modifier and everything is a 15?
Oh my
girl.
god.
Oof.
I got a 3 on the die.
I have a 25, 26, 27.
Okay,
Yeah, you
so
riding that high, Astani. You're like, oh, damn.
Okay, so like
Protect
to
his
be
hand with
clear
my
for
life.
everybody at home, pass without a trace gives you a plus 10, right?
Yes.
I have rolled a 4 on this die. I have a 26 in stealth.
Damn. I love rogues. Rogues are
Who
so...
is Rory?
Yeah, who
Never
is
known
this
them.
man?
Yeah.
Who is this man? You all quickly and quietly are able to dart. Are you darting to the left or are you darting onto the opposite alcove from them? Rory.
I picked the alcove that's closest to the direction that they're coming from so we can watch them as they go by.
They're equal.
I think they're like
it's just one hallway, and then it's kind of like these are the arms of the hallway.
She's asking, are you going into the alcove that has the secret Scooby-Doo door, or are you not going into the one that's the secret Scooby-Doo door?
I'm just
You know
wondering,
something?
are you all paired
'Cause
together
I'm
or are you
assuming.
split is what I'm trying to understand.
I think we're all going together, but
Okay.
sure, a secret Scooby-Doo door it is.
Yeah. Whichever one has the door that flips around and we're in a library all of a sudden.
Okay.
I'll take that one. Thank you.
The flame kind of slowly moves through. All of you, that stench getting a lot stronger as it passes by. Does not seem to notice any of your presence as it kind of continues onwards. For Rory, I would say, and probably Deodora, I think at some point the thought crosses your mind of the Unitel, how there was a live guard set up. This is likely something similar.
You mean